Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into strategic agility, specifically how it works at the board level.
Right. We're drawing on insights from Balaji.T, who's deep into agile and digital transformation.
And our mission really is to figure out how boards can weave flexibility, value-driven thinking into their core decisions.
Yeah, to spark innovation and build resilience. It's crucial in today's market. Things change so fast. We'll be looking at some excerpts from Balaji.T's work on this.
Okay, so boardroom discussions. They often circle around big topics like strategic alignment, digital moves, handling risk, future-proofing.
Exactly. And usually you have agile coaches or transformation experts trying to make those big ideas practical on the ground. But what's interesting in Balaji.T's view is how the board itself can start embedding this flexibility, this focus on value, right into how they make decisions. It's about shifting the whole mindset from the top.
Okay, let's take an example. Say the board's talking about improving the customer experience. How does this agile thinking actually play out there?
Well, instead of planning some huge, long project, an agile coach might suggest, hey, let's launch a version quickly with just the core features.
Yeah.
The minimum viable product, the MVP.
Right, the MVP. Get something out there.
Exactly. And the strategic win for the board, you get real customer feedback, like immediately.
So you can adjust course much faster.
Precisely. It turns big strategic bets into more like a series of smaller experiments you can actually test rather than one massive gamble.
That makes sense. Balaji.T also talks about MMF and MMR, minimum marketable feature and release. How do those fit in, especially with things like quarterly business reviews?
Good question. So an MMF is like the smallest thing you can release that a customer would actually find useful, maybe even pay for.
Okay, tangible value.
Right. And an MMR is just a bundle of those MMFs that make sense to release together. So when you get to the QBR, instead of talking about abstract progress.
Like percentage complete on a giant project.
Yeah, exactly that. Instead, you're looking at actual market-validated features delivered. The board gets a much clearer data-backed view on ROI and whether things are truly aligning with the strategy. It's less guesswork.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Risk management. That's always huge for any board. How does agility help there? Seems almost counterintuitive sometimes.
You'd think so, but it can actually reduce risk. A digital transformation expert, for instance, would likely propose a phased approach for adopting new tech.
So not flipping a giant switch all at once.
Definitely not. You roll things out in manageable stages, test, learn, adapt. This dramatically lowers the chance of some catastrophic failure.
And you can keep an eye on compliance and stuff as you go.
Correct. It lets the board know, look, we can innovate, but we're doing it carefully. It balances that push for progress with the need for stability.
So it's about showing them that embracing new stuff doesn't automatically mean chaos.
Precisely. Balaji.T talks about a controlled, iterative transformation roadmap. It's a structured way to handle digital risk.
A roadmap, okay.
Yeah, it allows the company to push forward with innovation, but in a way that actively manages the potential downsides. You're protecting stability while you pursue growth.
Got it. So, wrapping this up, the main takeaway seems to be that strategic agility for a board involves these iterative methods, like MVP for customer stuff, phased rollouts for tech.
And the result is organizations that can react faster to market shifts. They become more resilient.
They can pivot without breaking everything.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is taking these ideas, incremental value, phase rollouts, which often started in software development.
Yeah, down in the tech trenches.
And seeing how they provide a powerful new way to think about and tackle huge strategic challenges right at the very top.
So a final thought for you, the listener. Thinking about these insights, how could these principles delivering value piece by piece, implementing changes in stages, apply to challenges you face? Maybe in your own work or even other areas you're interested in.
It really is a different lens for thinking about progress and managing risk effectively.
Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.